Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Monday Fun Day, and this is Monday Morning Mindset. And what is mindset? And why does it matter? So, mindset is a combination of your thoughts and your feelings that affect your actions, that affect your attitude, that affect everything that you do in life. So, your mindset is critically important and it matters in every way, every day. And so our oil today is brain power. The oil of brain power. And what brain power does is it takes you out of the feeling of apathy. Um, what's the feel? It's kind of got a nice little color to it. It takes you out of the feeling of apathy. Oh, such a beautiful oil. What's apathy? Apathy is when you go into that feeling of like, I don't know, it just feels like everything's against you and you don't really care, and there's just this feeling of uncertainty and inability to cope or to actually become or do the thing that you wanted to do. And so what's the other side of that? The other side of that is just being aware and holding on to, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what's going on around you, just holding on to the feeling of knowingness that there's hope, there's possibility, there's potential. And when things go wrong and things go against us, oh, I see Darlene is on here. Good morning, Darlene. Great to see you. So when things go wrong, when don't go the way that we anticipated them to, we can go into that feeling of apathy, of just kind of that feeling of like hopelessness. Like, that feeling, it's like expressed in like, just that. And so I love that the other side of it is just being aware and holding on to possibility, and just the simple awareness and knowingness that I don't really know what's going on here. I just know something good is going to come from it, and holding on to that feeling. Good morning, Dawn. Lovely to have you joining us this morning. So good to see you. So I am going, and I love that you're putting where you're joining me from. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much. And I have this, oh, beautiful, beautiful oil, this oil of brain power. And I think that often it's um, underused. It's underused because I think we all face situations in life where we can go into that feeling of apathy and uncertainty, and what do we do? And just do that dive in our emotional state. And so being able to have an oil at your fingertips where you can just take a drop of it, put it on, take the deep inhalation, and hit that internal pause button for a moment and just go, okay, well, what could be good here? What could come from this? How could I think differently about this situation? And I love the story I found in relationship to that. And I don't think that I've used this before. Maybe I need brain power in the other way to remember if I've used this before. Anyway, I'm going to read it to you. It's called A Woodcutter. And it talked about a woodcutter who lived in a small village, and that he was just a very diligent man in his work and very dedicated to his work. And he was considered by the villagers to be a very honest man. And every day he would go into the nearby forest to cut down trees. And he brought the wood back to the village and sold them to the merchants for various things that they would build out of them. And that was how he earned his living. And it wasn't an abundant living, however, it was a satisfied living that he enjoyed. And one day when the woodcutter was cutting it, as the story goes, he was cutting a tree near the river, and his axe slipped out of his hand and fell into the river. And the river was so deep that he could not even so deep and so fast that he could not even think of retrieving it on his own. And he only had one axe, and so he became very worried, thinking about how he was going to be able to earn his living. And so he decided that what he would do is he would pray. And so he prayed sincerely and just gave all his heart to it. And a goddess appeared, as the story goes, and asked, "What is the problem?" And the woodcutter explained the problem and how that he had lost his axe in the river and he was requesting help. And so the goddess put her hand into the river and took out a silver axe and asked, is this your axe?" And the woodcutter looked at the axe in total amazement and said, "No, that is not my axe." So the goddess put her hand back into the deep water again and brought out a axe of gold, a golden axe, and said, "Is this your axe?" And the woodcutter looked at the axe with many feelings running through his mind, and he said, "No, that is not my axe." And so the goddess said, "Take a good look at it, my son. This is a very valuable axe. This is a golden axe. Are you sure this is not yours?" And the woodcutter said, "No, it's not mine. I cut trees with my axe, and I can't cut trees with a golden axe. It's not strong enough. So it's not useful to me." And so the goddess smiled and put her hand back into the water again and took out his iron axe. "Is this your axe?" And the woodcutter said, "Yes, that is mine. Thank you." And so the goddess was very, very impressed with this man's honesty. And so she gave him the iron axe, she gave him the silver axe, and she gave him the golden axe because of his honesty and of his persistence in looking for what, like, just putting his mind to, instead of going into despair and apathy and just going away, he actually looked for another avenue. And I love how this story actually creates the expression or the really what can happen instead of going when something bad happens or we our perception is that it's negative, instead of going, into that feeling of like, "Oh no," we can open up and go, "What's possible?" And so many more good things can come if we simply hold the image of what we want. And then we can go into the day knowing that there's so much possibility, there's so much potential, and hold that image of what it is we want. Use your brain power all week this week in order to always look for possibility, for potential, to look for to keep your image of what it is. Like, what is your axe? What is the thing that you use that's most valuable to you, and how can that be enhanced? And so if you think it's being taken away or somebody else has got the edge on your market, think about what it is that you can do that will bring actually even more abundance to yourself, whether it's in your emotional state or your physical state. So, thank you so much for joining me today. And um, please, if this is helpful to you, hit the share button, hit subscribe so more people can get benefit from a little drop of oil that can be such a benefit in helping you throughout your day. Mm, Thank you so much. Have an absolutely wonderful day today, and we will see you next Monday on Monday Morning Mindset. Bye for now.